So here, and it's the book, The Cosmological Origins of Myth and Symbols, right? Now, this is what the Jews been hiding from us. The definition of a symbol is Hashem, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one of the definitions that's considered to be a symbol. What word you see in there?
Sure.
All right. But an action that preserves knowledge, followed by the Horus falcon. Ancient Hebrews were sun worshippers, but this is not in calculating that. Action preserved by knowledge, or action preserves knowledge. So what do we do as Hebrews? The Sabbath day, we act it out. The 50th count, we act it out.
Let me ask you. I hear you and I agree with it. But are they saying that this what this symbol represents?
Yeah. This is an eye. This is a sh.
So
and this is
in order to accept that, you have to believe that they can understand the hieroglyphics.
Absolutely. It's not saying that they don't completely understand the hieroglyphics. Who's translating the hieroglyphics?
Europeans.
Jews.
Jews.
Yeah. Who? Huh? European Jews.
Jewish man?
European Jews.
Okay.
But my point is, the only how they can translate the hieroglyphics is because you just translated it. Hashem. But look how y'all places stuff in books, right? And you tell me if you see what I see. The definition of an image or a symbol is Aham. What do you see there? All right, so you see Shem and who? All right. Actions that preserve knowledge. Action that replicates knowledge. What's the difference between Shem and Ham right here? Shem acts out the knowledge.
And Ham is just an image.
Images, replicates it. He preserves it by creating structures. Does that make more sense than the knowledge we was given?
Yeah.
So the reason why I said it because everybody has parent cosmology. It's a parent cosmology. Somebody has a one cosmology that we all took from. But the Hebrew Israelites have the most solid one because it's not based off of locality. It's not based off of their inhabitants or zoology that's based off of where they live. So you may get vultures or something. You might not find that in certain lands. So Egyptian got the abyss, or you got certain jackals and stuff. You might not have that everywhere. So if I try to explain you a thing about a jackal, you won't get what a jackal represents. So just like we take Hadassah, right? Esther. Hadassah means myrtle tree. Myrtle tree.
Myrtle tree.
Myrtle tree is a symbol of a Hebrew marriage. Myrtle is the symbol of a Hebrew marriage.
Okay.
So myrtle being a symbol of Hebrew marriage, it represents purity, truth, chastity, feminism, femininity, and gentleness. So in it, Hadassah is telling you who she is. So in it, in Greek mythology, the Greek goddess Venus of love hid behind the myrtle tree. So it's showing you that basically this is what makes love decent. Makes love decent. So Hadassah is coming with Vashti. She's challenging now Vashti is the contrast. She stands just with her. What's Vashti mean? And she drinks.
That's what Vashti means?
Yeah, and she drinks. So it's basically like it represents the social aspect of society of most modern women, that they put socialization before Hadassah. They put it before the structure of the myrtle tree. So now when we look at it, we have to look in the book into symbolism because the book is completely symbolism.
I do believe that.
You said the book talking about our book.
Yeah. I do believe that the names were not the original names of our ancestors. I've always thought that.
They're epithets. They're called epithets. They're the title. They're the what you carve in the granite about them. And I think that's why
So the names that they call it, is not their real name?
Yeah, but that's not what they call them back in the day.
Yeah, so give me an example of that.
Joseph. Okay. Or Yaakov. That's even Yaakov. His attribute was he grabbed his brother by the foot and came out. Still grabbed him. Abraham, father of all nations. Ab, being father.
Abraham.
I don't know what the Ham part is. You know what the Ham part is? Life, Ham, the life. What do you think?
It's like the father. It's like the father of the womb. It's like
So the names that the Most High gave these people and the meanings that they have were.
See, you said the Most
yeah,
High
he
did.
tricking you in the
That's
art.
not-
It's not you intentionally doing it, but you're trying to set us up to say that it's the Most High that did this, and that's not what we're saying.
We're not saying that. We're saying the authors, how they structured the book. They structured the book in a way that the person's name will fit their character or their purpose in the story. You know, and like Adam, blood and earth. And where he come from? The earth. You see, his finished structure, his character. And we can go on and on and on. It's like that with almost everybody in the book. Nabal. What was his name?
Yeah,
Nabal.
decay. Who gonna name their son you decaying carcass? Nobody's gonna name their son the Nabal, the decaying carcass. But what they're saying is that he was so evil that he was just decaying away.
But in some instances, didn't the Most High give names to people themselves that were either righteous or wicked in a sense?
Or name you probably name two on hand, and one is just Rael. That was divinely given by the angel of the Creator.
But then what does that mean? It has so many different meanings.
Yeah.
Well, the only one that I know of is
He who wrestles with God and with man.
prevail.
And that's what we do, ain't it? Yeah.
Your whole life is a struggle, even understanding that.
And life is always a struggle.
What did old man Jake say? He said that to the Egyptians. He said my life was full of trouble and difficult days.
That doesn't sound like something you want to be, right?
No,
It doesn't. But
for this part of life, but we all go through it.
for liberation, that's what it takes. It takes that struggle. You're going to go through times and struggles that's beyond, because it's society that wants to break you so much that you struggle and you just give in. So if it isn't work, if the struggle ain't strong enough, you easily liberate yourself. But they'll make it some way where, hey, everybody's moving forward, everybody's doing good, then they put this one woman to supplant this man. Or they do this and that. And so when we talk about, it's called an epithet. The epithet is what the people are called, Moses, right? It says Moshe ben Amram. Now Amram, and it shows the spiritual link, right? Amram is his father, but Moses being drew from the water, right? Or to exalt from the water. Ben Amram means the exalted nation. What did Moses do? He lifted up the exalted nation from the water.
Literally from the water.
From the water. So it's his epic. Joshua.
But the wonderful thing about that is his name ain't even Hebrew.
Yeah.
Moshe was
No, it is.
Well, Moshe is Hebrew.
Yeah, because okay, there's cognates, there's Egyptian names. There's so
You mean
many
the
Egyptian
similarities?
words that are the same as Hebrew words, and this is how the Jews were able to translate Metoneta, because there's so many similarities in the word. See, we might use I'm good. I'm trying to figure out something, but it's like you may say something so much, but you go to another state, they use a different word for the same statement, but they're both the same word. So now we're getting out of what is the comfort zone of people in their usage of the word. So like you get so many different breakdowns of, okay, you got rest, it's you get Sheva, then you got Noach or Nachar, or there's different variations. You got a cow, you got Par, Shor, Para, you got it's just so many variations, but they twist it in a certain way, because Para is a cow, Par is a male cow, Shor is a plowing bull. No, it's similar to a plowing bull, and Baquar is a bull that pulls the plow. So when you say Boca Tov, you're not.
Bakwa is means all that a bull putting.
It's a plow. So when you say Boca Tov, you're saying when the early cow get up and plow that ground, that's when that's the time you're talking about. Because the ancients used to plow before the sun came up to beat the sun.
The heat, yeah.
So when I say Bakwet Tov or Bakwa, it comes from the root of when that cow start plowing the ground. That's when you get up and get out. So that limits the time. When I say Zaharayim Tov, Zahar means you heard the Zohar. It means the shining. So when the sun is shining at the most, when Islam and all other people say it's above us, that's when it's shining the most. So that's the Zaharayan Tov. And then we go on Erev Tov. Erev Tov and Lala Tov, but Erev Tov is when it's mixture, the Erev. This is why the Arabs call it a mixture, because they mixed, and they came back and mixed with Ethiopians too. So they're a heavy mixture, but then they also mixed with Edomite group. So there's a lot that's there. Like even when we talk about the Edomites, or the Arabs, we talk about this. Arabs is not just the Ishmaelites. Arabs is Ishmaelites, is the descendants of Keturah, and it's also the descendants of Yotam. Because most Arabs that don't practice Islam in Arabia, they say they're descendants from Yotam, whether they believe in the Bible or not. They say Jotham is their elder.
Jotham. And who's Jotham?
He's a descendant of out of the line of Seth. Adam, Seth, Enoch, Kenan, Mahala, Yeret, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Aparsad, Selech, Eber.
Yotam.
But it says Yotam is Eber's brother.
Eber's brother. Now I was just going to that genealogy the other day. I don't recall that name.
It's there, but it just shows you. So.
That was delicious.
Praise God.
Thank you.
It was good. Thank you. Awesome.
So now this is a book that's showing the astrophysicists, right? And they're talking about the string theory, and they're talking about the things that need to happen for the string theory to coexist. So the string theory is something that's so thin that it weaves through our existence, but it's multi-dimensional. So it's inside of us, but it's part of our creation. So we actually have multi-dimensions in us. But they're stumbling upon it, but the ancients knew of it.
That's how you dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You travel in your dreams.
You travel to
It's a reality.
Hallelujah. Yep. So it says, together, they represented the four component stages of the formation of mass. And each, I can't read from that angle. Can you read? Yeah,
Each is assigned a symbol keyword.
Mm-hmm.
We interpret these to be one, massless waves.
All right, so now you got massless waves. So you got four. They said 4 elements, right? You remember karate films, 5 deadly elements, but you got 4 elements that supposedly created the earth. You got massless waves that they consider not mass, but they're waves. It's a water that's deeper than we can perceive, right? So we see that with the double slit theory, where we see that light acts as waves, but it also acts as a particle. So the deeper form of light is waves. So you got one that's massless form, that's water. So that represents water. That's in the scriptures, right? Go ahead.
And the word Ma'im, heavens, the Meme is a symbol, look like water in the ancient Hebrew. And Ma'im is high waters or heavenly waters. Hashemayim means high waters. Yeah, that's deep.
But you look in the scriptures, where do we live in?
In the waters.
Shemayim. We live in the Shemayim. We actually live in the heavens, but we can't perceive it. So it's a concept that every heavenly body is here, we just can't perceive it.
Every heavenly body is here. Explain that.
He says he created the waters above and the waters beneath, and he called the firmaments heavens. Yeah. He said in between the firmaments, he called it heavens. He said Shemayim. So if we live in between the firmaments, we live in heavens. But it's our perception. And when we got casted out, we can't perceive the things. There's things that's around us that can't perceive. Even when we see what Elijah says, remove back the curtains so my servant can see. And God opened his eyes of stuff that was already there. And he's like, oh, we're going to win. So now our eyes and our concept, because now we're so physical. Look at our life. We're just stressed about everything. Everything built is physical. Everything is physical. We believe in the concept of God, but we don't align ourselves with the concept of God. So until you align yourself with the concept of God, and meaning not saying I believe in God, but when you perceive that God is watching your every move, there's a difference.
Absolutely.
No, I don't know if you understand. Because that statement was really, really, really powerful. That we can perceive that the Creator is watching our every move.
I don't perceive it, I know it.
It's easy to say.
No, I know. That's not easy. It's for me very easy.
I'm not saying that you don't, and I hear you, but this is what I want to give a lesson on this so bad. I want to prepare a lesson for this. Think about this for a second. We teach that we believe in the Creator. And we also teach that we are sons of the living power. Am I wrong so far?
Absolutely.
That's what we teach. Now, if you are his son, or the Creator's son, and you believe in him and you're his son, how are you living? Because your every action, and this is what you just said, it kicked me a little bit, hit me in my head. Your every action is supposed to emulate your father. You raise up your little son to be just like you, right?
Absolutely.
So almost every concept of everything that we do, we should be asking ourselves, is this how the Creator would do a certain thing? Especially in our relationships dealing with these women. And then in relationships dealing with each other.
Absolutely.
And then dealing with our own individual selves. We should, every Israelite, every conscious Israelite man should be asking himself that question with every decision he makes in his life. I teach my children, when I'm not around, you ask yourself, just talk to my daughter about this today. Will Abba appreciate me doing this? If I'm not around and she's doing something, this is how she keeps herself on point.
Why did he remove the Creator and put himself there? Because he understands that the children can't perceive the Almighty to the extent yet. They understand that there's a sovereign being. They're connected, but they don't see him as judgmental. The only judgmental aspect is the Father. And this is why in Japanese believe Shintoism was the highest aspect, is worship your parents.
The most I said.
Yeah, if you worship your parents, because the same laws is for y'all is the same laws for your parents.
Absolutely.
So if you can't establish that there's a higher being, at least give that to your parents.
And with him
And
being
even
ultimate.
that for some humans is different.
Say again, Zakim?
Even for humans that could be very different.
With him being the ultimate parent, we who are the enlightened ones.
But that's why those that are enlightened are very few. Those that are not are many.
That's right. But when you become one of those light ones,
Then you're supposed to share that torch. Right?
your every action
You are that
should
torch.
be what you thinking, would the Most High do something like this?
That's your torch.
And that tells you how righteousness is dominating the earth when we do that type of characteristic trait before we do actions.
It will dominate the world. Not yet, not now, but it will dominate the world.
So one more. I just want to read this in. So what's two? So then you had the massless waters, and that's in Genesis, right? So astrophysics is telling you that there's massless waters that's a part of creation. Go ahead.
Initial act of perception, fire.
All right. So God said, and He seen, and it was good, right? Astrophysicists they realize it now that perception, because in the double slit theory, light, when you shine light, it acts as a particle. But when you're not perceiving it, it acts as waves. So our whole existence is based off of perception. So everything God created, when He's seen, it collapsed into reality. So they're saying our reality really doesn't exist until we look at it.
Well, what's that? When I was in college, they had this little saying they used to say, can you hear a tree fall in the forest?
Yeah.
If you're not there, you won't hear it. And that's
You
like
won't
what
know.
he's saying.
And so now, what is the point of it making noise? Is so you can be aware. Just like there's pain in your body. The pain is to let you know, hey, something is wrong. Get this off your skin or something along the line. So now, the astrophysicist, and this is what I was showing. So you got three. It says the vibration, which is the wind. It said Ruach Elohim hovered over the waters. So it said Marekafet, meaning the hover, or to create a vibration. And in Egyptian theology, it's the rabbit, the vibrator. Rabbit, they vibrate a lot. So that's that Marekafet, is that wind, that Ruach, that is that wind, and it causes one of the three principal aspects of nature. And then it's mass, earth. And Most High hovered over the bodies of waters, and the earth. It talks about the earth. So that's the mass. So we need these whole things in order to create creation. So now when we look,
In order to create what?
in order to have creation, in order to have a mass or matter that we have in existence today. So all of these things create matter. Just like when I talk, I speak. When they say the Most High spoke into existence, why? Because speech is the form of vibration. Every matter, the basis of matter is vibration.
That's how you get to speak from the right.
So when I speak, it is me acting into reality or causing something to exist because I'm playing on the vibration of the air. So if everything is based on vibration, voice is based on vibration, if Yah's creating it, it has to take speech or some form of vibration. So when we speak, we're emulating God and creating vibration patterns, so we have to be careful what we speak. And I'm not saying that I mastered this, and I'm not saying you mastered it. You're not mastering it. But we have to realize that, hey, this is dangerous. We are the image of Elohim, and in fact, I can't say we Elohim. We are just a particle or branch of Elohim, or shattered shards of the bigger glass. We are the different scattered lights of the divine prism. When you put light through a prism, it breaks into 7 ways.
I know what it is.
There's only, if you really look at people, there's only 7 kind of people that you have. Whether they different in variations in many ways, but there's 7 principal people. You know
What are
this.
those 7 principles?
I won't get into that because it's complicated. But there's the creator, there's a creative aspect person, there's the imaginative aspect, there's the emotional person, there's the adventurous person. If you notice, the people you have around you today are basically the same as the people you had around you when you were little. You ever met somebody that you know today is the same exact person, somebody that they're the same exact person, but they have different elements to them, but they're the same exact person because there's only basically 7 different variations of individuals.
Can I take that a little further?
Okay, hallelujah.
I agree with you, 100%. We take it a little bit further. There are 7 different elements that rule the earth.
Absolutely.
7 forces or energy or spirits that rule the earth as well. Now, we going a little off of what we so commonly used to, but I'm going to bring it back so you might can relate to it. You ever had a day in your life at 70, how old are you, 73? 78?
Well, I'm in my time.
You know, when you go through a day, it's a certain feeling that it brings on you. Have you ever had a day repeat itself in your life where you had that feeling of that day come upon your life again?
Yeah.
Deja vu?
Deja vu, thank you.
Deja vu
I've had
is,
that.
yeah, that's
That's
almost,
what I call it.
that's almost what I'm talking about, but
I've had
What he's saying is, what I think, the days repeat themselves all the time.
that's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? It's
The
just
spirit of the day repeats
it's
itself
just-
all the time.
When have you ever been in a situation where you say, "Damn, I've been here before."
Deja vu, yeah. Come.
That's what I call deja vu.
Well, he touched on that earlier. He might touch on it now, and he might can bring you back to a little bit. But that was deep. You want to share that with
Well,
him?
no, I heard what he said.
No, he
No.
wasn't here. It was a
I was
private
talking about.
conversation.
I was
He
talking about
was outside.
deja vu is when there's a glitch in the system and you come into the Yahweh or Jehovah part aspect, where Yahweh or Jehovah is outside of the bounds of time. He is, he was, and he shall be. So that means that he's not confined to time. And as humans, we're attached by a silver string or alignment to something that's outside of time. So when you have a deja vu, there's a glitch in the system that shows you that you've been somewhere you've never been before. So that means that in your natural state of being Elohim and connected to Yah Elohim, you don't exist in a frame of time.
What we think is real, it's
Isn't
not the
real.
only reality. It's a whole lot of different developments of reality. This is not but a dream. Like just a moment ago when I said that, can you bring that back?
When you said this is what done nothing.
This is nothing but a dream. Can you bring that back?
No, I didn't even hear that.
You can't bring it back because it's
I
gone.
didn't hear that particular thing.
But this, if I move this, I move it here. I can move it there. 2 seconds later, I can move it here. But can you move reality like that?
I don't think so.
No, we just don't have the capability. You can, but
No,
we don't know how to.
What I know that we only use like a very small portion of our brain. So, you know, there's a lot of things that our brains can probably do that we just don't know how to access that part of the brain to do that. Like that second, that third eye. You know, a lot of people could access that third eye. I can't.
The third eye, we have to access third eye. And I agree with you saying, but we don't utilize it to the extent we can because third eye, you don't exist without your third eye.
Well, then if I don't access with it, I don't understand how it's being used by me.
Well, you have visions, you have dreams.
I haven't had a dream, and God, no, I don't remember the last time I had a dream.
That's not a good thing.
I know it's not. I don't consider that a good thing because I have a subconscious, you know, and that's what's used for the dream. So I'm in part of it anyway.
No, it's not. Let's say it's not that you haven't had a dream.
Well, I don't remember. If I had them, I don't remember.
You don't, because you most people block out their dream or they dream. Like when I woke up this morning, I had a vivid dream, and I know you gonna try to break it down, but my dream, I already know my dream. I know what it means. I woke up, this dream was so vivid. I don't remember the details, but I remember there was a fire in the building. Now let me start out like this. I was a beautiful dragon. I was a beautiful dragon. I had multicolors. I was turquoise and purple.
Did you learn how to fly?
Those ain't my colors. You know what I mean?
Did you learn how to fly?
I was flying.
Okay.
There was a building on fire with blue flames. But somehow this building means so much to me. It's probably my house, right? And it's on fire. And instinctively, as a dragon, what do? I blow fire on it. Try to stop it. Then I realized, as a dragon.
So you added to the destruction.
As a dragon, I realized that don't work. So as a dragon, I start using my brain. I'm telling you, this is just really like.
Sound like that conversation we had.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was going to tell you that, but I didn't want to tell you that. But I'm not putting it on camera. I don't know why. But so as I started flying, and I know I've been flying, but I'm flying in front of a window. It's like on the 4th or 5th floor. And I said, how can you put out this fire? And in my dragon mind, flap your wings. So I flap my wings.
You mean get up and do some work?
Flap my wings.
You had to do
I'm
some
flapping my wings. I had to elevation. I had to elevate myself.
Yeah.
But though the fire wasn't going out like I wanted to,
Right.
I had to stay there a long time. But eventually, the fire went out. So now I'm in the same dream, and I'm not the dragon no more. I'm being attacked by the dragon. So now it's me outside myself. Because the dragon cared about the house. It was very nurturing. It was a beautiful, majestic being. It cared about what it was, but it tried to solve something with something that you couldn't solve. But then I was outside myself, and I'm like, these dragons are killing us. And I was just about to think about how to make these dragons die. And there was telephone wires. And I was like, if I can get them to crash, as soon as before I even said get them to crash into the telephone wires, the dragons flew into the telephone wires and self-destruct. So when you show you outside yourself,
how did they self-destruct with telephone wires?
Because they just flew recklessly. They were just flying recklessly.
But how did the telephone wires kill them?
Electrocuted.
Telephone wires don't electrocute anybody. Electrical wires do.
What are the electrical wires? Whatever the wire. I'm not getting technical.
I'm getting technical.
Yeah,
When you said telephone wires, I'm trying to figure out.
No, I'm not talking. But it's the line. It's the
wires on the top of the
house. So they crashed into it and electrocuted itself, and that's all I remember.
When did you dream?
Yeah.
I don't remember. If I dream, like I said before, if I dream, I used to dream. I used to remember dreaming. But I had most of my dreams were what I call pesadillas. Pesadillas is heaviness. You ever had a dream when you feel so heavy and you're falling and you're struggling to get out that fall in your sleep. You're struggling and you're struggling not to fall. And you're trying to hold on to things and you fall in your sleep. And my wife, 21 years, she used to wake me up all the time. She would because I'll be struggling, I'll be going all over the place in the bed. She said, wake up. And I'll be falling. Most of my dreams were like that.
It means your life is out of control. It doesn't, and when I say your life is out of control, it doesn't mean to put you in a corner or box. It means most people have these dreams. Most people have the dream of falling.
Yeah, but I try to make myself stay in my dream until I hit the ground. Because they say when you fall and you never hit the ground in your sleep. So I try to
You
stay
never,
there.
you never. I don't know. I always woke up before.
Yeah,
before.
that's what
I had one dream where I actually altered my dream.
But the thing about it is,
Actually, it was one time I altered. I was conscious enough to alter my dream.
well, I haven't done that yet, but those are what probably most of my dreams were negative.
But that was my dream last night. I'll share with you.
That dream,
That was a deep dream.
it's heavy.
And the dragon represents majestic, it's power. It represents, well, fire is the dragon, is anger. And
Well, I guess Caucasian people
It's
like
speech.
love it a lot because that's all that's more the movies they make it about dragons.
Yeah.
The interpretation of your dream is that you was actually wrestling yourself in your dream.
Yeah,
Different
yeah.
multi-personalities of you.
Absolutely good.
You talk about the dragons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so powerful, but at the same time, my solution, and I know my solution, always isn't the best way because I allow it to be the instinctive aspect of how to solve things. And when you try to solve things off of instinct, it doesn't work. Only thing you can solve from instinct is violence. Instinct is good. Impulsiveness is good. When somebody scares you, boom, that's when you go impulsive. So it's good. It's a good part of human nature. But in the reality, it doesn't solve social problems
No, it doesn't. You're right. Absolutely correct.
unless it's a war.
Well, you know, where I grew up, you know, back in the late 50s, mid 50s, late 50s, into the 60s, the only thing I knew, the only thing I could do during that time was fight. If it wasn't fighting my own brothers and sisters, I was fighting Caucasian people.
Where you grew up? Where's that
in
at?
South Bronx, New York. And that was rough. I carried a gun every single day, even into school.
Chris, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right. You ain't no 39. You believe that?
39.
You believe that?
I've been 39 for
That
the
man
last several
59.
years.
So you're about 59
How old are
now?
you?
Who?
How old are you?
I don't know, man.
I'm guessing,
You know.
brother. I'm guessing because you said
You
I
40
don't
now.
remember.
Yes, you do, brother. Don't go there,
I
brother.
don't know. Something like that, man.
I
You
believe
know
it.
what? You know
I
I don't
what?
believe in
stopped,
time.
I stopped keeping track of my age
Don't do
man,
that,
when I
brother.
was
Don't
young.
do that.
You know what? I'm telling you the truth, man.
Run the age with
How old do you think I am?
From visual, yeah, you look about maybe 43, 44.
Okay.
No. He's
Thank you
older.
very much.
Huh?
He's older.
That's what you look like. Well, how old are you? That I don't know.
39, man.
Yeah, you say so. Well, your wife knows how old you are.
No, she probably doesn't.
What you doing that? I don't know.
Well, how old are you, brother? Please be
I
honest.
don't know. I'm telling you, I don't keep a track of that. I don't keep up with that stuff.
What year were you
I
born?
don't want to lie to you.
You don't know what year you were born?
66.
You were born in 66? That's when my daughter was born in 66.
Good year.
Very good year. You know how old she is? She's in her 50s.
Oh, yeah. Come on, man. You scaring me, man. You can't be that old.
Yeah, you are that.
I'm only 39. I don't, you know,
Well, you can
39.
stay 39 all you want, brother.
I'm 39.
It's all right, you know. I mean, I age in truth. And believe me, man, you know, people don't believe when I say I'm in my 78.
You look good.
People don't believe it.
You look
People say,
good.
no, you're not. And a lot of people ask me for my ID. They say, no, let me see your license.
How many times you gonna tell that story, Ozzy?
It's the truth. As many times I have to. 'cause
You gotta let people tell you that story.
No, man, it's a why?
No, you do. You gotta do that.
Well,
You said most people. You can't say.
I know how to pull my own chain, bro.
No, you don't. No, you can't tell people. Most people say I don't look the age. You have to let people say you don't look the age. Huh?
No, I said most people do. I've been told so many times, how old are you? How old are you, bro? And say, I'm 78. Man, you joking. That's all I hear. So, yeah. You know?
That's what you do.
Good.
But the book said let another man praise you.
Yeah, but no one praised me, brother. I don't praise myself. I'm giving you factual information. That's not praise
That's
at
not
all.
a fact. That's something that somebody told you.